Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Student Athlete Spotlight. Joining me today, we have male track and field athlete, Kyle Larson. I probably also ought to be identifying you as a cross-country athlete as well right now, huh? You had quite a successful season with that team this year. Tell us a little bit about that one. One of the most successful seasons ever for Western Oregon cross-country.
Well, yeah, I've never made it on the varsity team in cross-country, but this last summer, I just put my nose to the grindstone and really put in the miles, and we came out there and we had a great season, and it was a lot of fun.
And you scored at nationals as well.
We didn't do so well at nationals or regionals, but no, we had some great races. You know, conference was probably our best race of the year.
And regardless of, I know track and field athletes as well as cross-country athletes hold themselves to such high standards. Regardless, all of us around here at Western Oregon were just thrilled, and you have no idea how many people came up to me and talked to me about, hey, the cross-country team's going to nationals. And it was so cool because the men and women both were able to go the same year, which to me was a nice little icing on the cake out of that one. But regardless, you're now here at Western Oregon. You've been running some track and field and doing that one. But I'd like to hear a little bit more about your journey to get here and then kind of some of your experiences here at Western Oregon. So start off and talk to me a little bit about when you're growing up, what other sports you chose to play besides just track and field?
Okay. I think I started off with t-ball and basketball and soccer growing up, and I actually wanted to play. I wanted to play football, but I was too scrawny. My mom wouldn't let me. But yeah, a lot of baseball, and I think running was just like, one of the funnest parts of those sports. Running in between bases, I knew I could outrun anybody. So
when did you decide track is your sport, and when did you start focusing on that one to a degree?
Well, actually, in middle school, in 6th grade, we had this run. It's called the Lake Run. You'd have to do it every week, and it was like a 1.5 miles, And so I went out there and I beat everybody else, and so I decided cross country might be fun. And then it began.
Well, you talk about beating somebody in a 1.5 miles, and you also beat them on the bases, which Little League is 60 feet. So you were pretty fast, short and long distance back then?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I definitely wasn't as fast as other kids, but yeah.
Well, pretty good thing then. Did you play some other sports in high school? Did that speed help you have some success in some of those?
Well, I know I swam, and that was just for conditioning. I actually hated the sport of swimming. And then a little bit of basketball, in school basketball in middle school, and then I played my senior year in high school, and I definitely felt that running helped me out a lot there too.
Well, what do you like best about running, about track and field?
I love it how you just get out there, and like in football and basketball and all these other sports, you're always competing against one team. And I mean, Western Oregon never races against, or never plays football against U of O or UW. But just last weekend, we had a distance medley relay against Oregon's A team and University of Washington's A team and UCLA. And I mean, I stayed right with them for a while. And it was really cool because, I mean, you just don't get that opportunity in so many other sports.
And I know you would not be the one to admit it out loud, but on that distance medley relay team, you ran the first leg of the school record race, 21 seconds better than the previous school record, although only 17 seconds better because it was broken 20 minutes before that one. But that's a very interesting point that you say that you are competing on even field, divisions don't matter as much, and that you guys are able to do it. That's a very interesting point of view. I'd like to hear a little bit, what is your favorite part, as you mentioned that one, about playing at Western Oregon? What are some of your other things you've come to enjoy here?
Well, I just like how it's kind of like a, you don't get the the prima donnas. It's a team sport. We all get out there and we run as fast as we can, and we compete. And I think you don't really get that at a lot of other Division II schools.
Fair enough. I hear you are also a guy that keeps your teammates very entertained. I hear you are the best joke teller on the cross-country team. This one has come across. So I don't know. I'm supposed to put you on the spot for that one. We want to hear a good joke that your grandma can laugh at, too.
Let me think. I've got quite a few jokes. I usually use the one-liners, you know. So like if something is meaningless, I'll say something like, "Oh, that's pointless. It's kind of like a broken pencil," you know, or I don't know, just little things like that. I know I have quite a few jokes.
Well, I had to put you on the spot there a little bit. We can give that one credit to Zach Massari right there. That told me, I saw him the other day, told him I was doing the interview. He's like, "You got to get a joke from Kyle Larson. He's by far the funniest one, tells the best jokes on the team." He's like, "If you ever had something unique about Kyle, that's what you got to get for him." So
yeah.
So I want to hear, you guys have already set your name's on the top of school record already this season, but I'd like to hear, what are some of your other goals you have this year? Not maybe just an indoor season, but an outdoor season, and maybe academically as well.
Well, I'd really like to run fast. I'd really like to run a really fast mile. They only have the mile in indoor, so I think I'll get a chance at that maybe at conference, and then 1 week later at the last chance meet if we don't do the DMR then. And we're sitting at 10:01 in the DMR, and you got to run about 9:55 there. Oh, okay. So we got to drop about 6 seconds, which I think is perfectly possible. And also, you know, the 1500 and the 800 outdoors. I'd like to make it to nationals this year, since this will be my senior year of outdoor. So
we do talk about track and field. I know it has much individual element, the team element, but now we're talking about a smaller part of the team with your relay team. Do you like working with this DMR relay group?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you get guys like Chris Reed is actually a 10K runner, but you know, he went out and ran 4:09 in the mile or 4:08.99 rather in the mile last weekend, and you get guys like Josh Elliott and just a lot of these guys. Michael Sjogren. You get 800 guys, Zach Massari, and it's pretty cool because I mean it's like you're working together. Even though you guys, I mean I'm a miler and Zach's an 800 runner. Josh Elliott's a 5K runner, Chris Reed's a 10K runner, you know? So
kind of interesting, like you say. I know you're already working there with Josh and Chris during training for cross country, but then you get Anthony Yakovich on the team, and just kind of a nice little mixture of making them mix between the sprints and the distance guys, I guess, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear, what are you doing here at Western Oregon? What is your major, and where do you plan to pursue with that?
I'm actually double majoring. I started out with a Spanish major, and then you know, I've got a couple extra terms of eligibility next year, so I added an English linguistics major, and eventually I'd like to teach English as a second language, and maybe go abroad somewhere and come back, you know, get a little experience.
Fantastic. Well, I got to ask you this: what is your most memorable moment as a member of the Wolves? Whether it was in school, athletically, whatever happens to be. Right now, if you had to think back about your time you've been here, what's your most memorable moment?
It's got to be hands down the regional race when we made nationals. You know, I mean that's the first time anybody's made nationals at our school for Division II. You know, well, a team as a team, and it was really cool because we've been one place out of it the last 3 years. And you know, it's just a great way to culminate some of these guys' experiences here at WOU and their careers as runners to, you know, go to nationals. And it was probably, I mean, there were kids. I mean, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but there were kids crying, and it was really pretty cool.
Well, that's a pretty cool thing when you can reach your goal like that one, which I know Coach Johnson has put out there for years at a time. Like you said, just being that one place so short, a couple different years that you guys were able to seize the opportunity, and that's a great sense of accomplishment, something that Western Oregon University is very proud of, that you and the women were able to take us to that level. So I'd like to ask you one final thing. Other students that are going to look at coming to Western Oregon in the future, both to attend the school academically and then possibly to compete for one of their athletic teams, just tell me a little bit what advice you might have for somebody like that.
I would say that you know, it's like it's a small school, tight-knit team. You know, You don't get a whole lot of egos going on. What I really am excited about is this whole this new wellness center, and I think it's really going to continue to change the culture that we've been just trying to do. I mean, the entire time we've been here, and I think so many people look at division and they say, oh, I'm not good enough because I'm not wearing a big huge O on my chest, but I think it's going to start changing once we start getting the ball rolling, once we really start focusing on our sports.
Well, fantastic. Kyle, I just want to say it was nice to get to know you and just learn a little bit more about you today. And thank you all for watching this edition of Student Athlete Spotlight.